there. He's going to get Heisman buzz. I'm telling you off this game, he will. He's going to go make his Heisman case right there in this game.
Well, the same way that Dylan feels about Baker Mayfield, I feel about Utah. So give me Texas Tech. I know Utah is favored by 3.5. Make yourself even more money. Take Texas Tech on the money line. You don't even need the points. On the money line, Texas Tech over Utah. Easy money.
My last pick is kind of in the same vein as yours. My dark horse to make the college football playoff. Yours was Missouri. Mine was Nebraska. Nebraska 1.5 dogs against Michigan. I like taking the points. I don't like giving points away. I don't like giving points away. Okay?
I thought you were setting
it is 1.5. You might as well take the money line.
Yeah. Nope. Be safe. You never know. Michigan go down 2. They go down. They kick a field goal to end the game. And if you would have just taken that 1.5, you could have still won your bet. I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm just trying to win money. But I want to point out the year 3 effect for Matt Rule.
Okay.
At Temple, 2-10, 6-6. Year 3, 10-4. Baylor, 1-11, 7-6, and then 11-3 in year 3. Nebraska's doing it this year. They're winning 10 games, folks. Okay. And in order for them to do that, they need to win this game because they have Penn State later in the year and then USC that they could possibly lose. So they need this one against Michigan.
By the way, I don't know if you've checked into Matt Rule's podcast because he does a video podcast. I'm not the greatest dresser in the world, and some would say I probably don't dress my age. That's fine. I want to tell you right now, Matt Rule on this podcast dresses like a chode. Like he absolutely is wearing like clothes made for 20-year-olds, and this is a 50-year-old man, and you should go look at that if you haven't seen that. It may change your entire opinion of this game.
Would you rather him dress like that or like Biff Podgy?
Biff Podgy, 100%. Sleeveless, yes, sleeveless and grody, 100%. All right, Josh Pate, College Football Insider. He'll join us next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, traffic is picking up in certain areas throughout the metro. Over on the west side, 70 eastbound heading into the city, looking a little bit slower out there. Canal Winchester, Pickerington, 33, that westbound direction. Even New Albany for folks taking that 161 and 62 intersection. Do expect some delays out there. But for folks over in Powell and Worthington, looking a lot better. 270, 315, even 23, looking pretty average with your travel times out there. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
Dave Parker nearly had an MVP year for the Reds in 1985, and one of his many highlights came on this September 19th when he hit a grand slam home run in a win over the Braves in Atlanta. The Cobra was gaining support for the Most Valuable Player award. He led the league with 125 RBIs and 42 doubles and was in the top 10 in many other offensive categories. He was the major reason the Reds came out of their miserable slump in the early 1980s. He led the Reds to a surprising second-place finish in 1985. Dave came up just short of the MVP vote, finishing second, but a memorable year for Parker in 1985, highlighted by his grand slam this September 19th. This date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. It's time to ditch the traffic jams and the rat race and take in that crisp morning air, the crackle of a warm campfire. With RCD RV's Fall Into Adventure sale, you can. September 15th through the 30th, you can cozy up to incredible deals. Sale pricing on all remaining new 2025 models, and RCD has travel trailers starting under $12,995, as well as pre-owned motorhomes priced under $39,995. Visit one of our 3 locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Hey, Columbus, it's T-Bone for Window Nation. Now is the best time of year to buy new windows. Whether you have old, drafty windows or maybe just the cheap builder's grade ones your house came with, September is the perfect month to protect your home against another cold, snowy winter. And right now, Window Nation is offering their most popular offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, you won't pay any interest, monthly payments, or down payment for 2 years. You heard that right. Window Nation gives you the option to pay nothing until 2027. Are you a Buckeye fan? Well, when you replace all the windows in your home, Window Nation will also give you 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game. With Window Nation, you get top quality windows from a trusted company, and it's all at a reasonable price because they know replacing windows is an investment and they want to make it affordable for you. Don't miss Window Nation's most popular offer. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And remember, you'll pay nothing for 2 years. Hurry, Columbus, this sale won't last forever. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to get your free quote.
Built by tradition, driven by Saturdays. Dave Holmes, Beanie Wells, and Cardale Jones host The Script, a new show covering the Ohio State story from the guys who wrote it.
You're going to call me a homer in this situation, I know. Here we go.
With big opinions.
Why in the world would you not want a primetime game of this magnitude?
And real talk from real Buckeyes.
Yes, they're ducking the smoke. Coming in hot. Oh, my God.
New episodes every week. The Script, wherever you get your podcasts.
We begin tonight with the breaking news. ABC's David Muir, wherever news breaks.
From here in Tel Aviv, from the Ukraine-Poland border, traveling along Maui's western edge. From southern Madagascar.
ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 newscast.
ABC News, America Strong. It's been a remarkable thing that we have all witnessed together in this country. A lot of joy out there. Just got to find it. This is David Muir, and I hope you'll join us tonight for ABC's World News Tonight.
At 6:30 on ABC6.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, save on new 2025 Sonatas with 0% financing for 60 months. 0% while supplies last. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Cleveland Guardians were looking for a sweep of the division-leading Detroit Tigers yesterday. The game was tied at 1 in the 7th when Jose Ramirez stepped to the plate.
Rocked, high in the air, deep right, Perez back at the wall. He's out of room, it's out of here. Jose Ramirez has put the Guardians in front 3-1.
The Guards would go on to win it by that score. They're now a game and a half behind the Boston Red Sox for the final wild card spot and 3.5 games behind Detroit for the division. The Reds also won yesterday on the back of a Hunter Green one-hitter. Cincinnati is 2 games back of the last NL wild card spot. And the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 31-21 on Thursday Night Football. This update was sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. We all love the word free, so does Awaken 180. Medication-free, side effect-free, and free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
2 men with 5 combined offspring. None of them have penises. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You tweet the program at Bone and Tyvis 971. Also hop in the YouTube chat. Just go to YouTube, search 971 The Fan. Click on T-Bone and Tyvis. We are now going to speak to the host of the Josh Pate College Football Show, the man who someday wants to be the commissioner of college football if such a program, if ever a position was created. He is Josh Pate. Josh, thanks for taking the time this morning. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I am very happy to be here. Hopefully that role does exist one day. The fight continues nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were given that role, would you look at that transfer window that we just now had finalized, where they're going to do this during the middle of the college football playoffs? Would you have said maybe we should move that window to a time where the best teams are not still playing so we could have a little bit more of a reasonable offseason for college football?
Reasonable. I just always laugh. People want the sport to be reasonable. It's just too much to ask, I think.
I know.
I know they looked at different windows. I know there's a reason. I mean, I had someone lay this out to me like 2 months ago. It got really boring really quickly, but there was a reason that was pretty well articulated why the the pre-spring window option was where it was. And I remember thinking, like, doesn't this overlap with the actual season? And they were like, yeah, but you don't get it. And then I was like, yeah, no, I don't think you get it. And then it wound up just, I feel powerless and you're going to do what you want to do anyway. I do think, though, given the two options, I had pretty robust conversation, actually, with people who preferred the latter, some of whom are on the very campus in the town that you reside in. But I do remember thinking to myself, I've heard all the arguments. I still think, even though it's not perfect, that option one is preferable, because my thing is, as a fan's perspective, I just want to know who's on a roster by the time spring ball starts. That's really what I wanted to know. I think a lot of coaches like that idea in theory. Look, here's the real bottom line. A lot of the guys in the South think that the guys up north were pushing back on this with ulterior motives, whereas they said it was more about aligning with the calendar and this and that. The guys in the South just think the guys up north push back on it because they don't want visits happening in cold weather. It's great. It's a really scientific argument that they have down here.
No, that's, that's a fair point, but I do feel like it's weird that it seems like the only conference, because Ryan Day has said that the Big Ten was pushing back on this. I haven't heard that from a lot of other conferences. And my argument, I guess, would be to those other conferences, why it seems like a loser mentality to say, yeah, well, we won't be in the playoffs, so it won't affect us. Like, if you have those goals of being in the playoffs and they're going to keep expanding these playoffs potentially, wouldn't you want to get clear of that? It seems like if the NFL opened up free agency in the divisional round and then closed it 4 days after the Super Bowl, that wouldn't make any sense. But yet that's what we're doing in college football.
Yeah, I also think a lot of this was constructed to bait someone into making the argument you just made so that then they could come back with, all right, well, if your big point of contention is that it overlaps with the season, then let's move the season up. At which point you say, wait a second, you want to be playing games in mid-August? Like, what are we really doing here? It's 115 degrees down here where I'm living.
Yeah, that also doesn't seem like a great argument for the South. Right.
Yeah. So I think I'm not sure that this was at the forefront of the mind when it was being formulated, but I do think in the back of some of these folks' minds, they believe that the NFL is an 800-pound gorilla that's not going to get out of the way, and they're eventually going to have to structure their season, their broadcast windows, their playoff around it anyway. I think a lot of people believe they're eventually going to move that season up 1 week, and they're going to look to get the college football season done by, I don't know, first or second week in January or something like that. So I think they're going to put that window in, hear the complaints, and then move the end of the season up, which really they're trying to accomplish to fatten the wallet a little bit more. But they're going to say, well, we had to move the window up, guys. We had to move the season up so that we didn't have the transfer portal window overlapping with the regular season. I mean, you don't want the spirit of competition sacrificed, do you? That's the way these people work.
That's actually very smart, actually. Now that you put it, that's why you get paid the big bucks. Let me ask you about Texas. Are you off the Arch Manning train? Because I've seen a lot of people jumping ship. Or are you still believe that he is this great Heisman generational talent?
Well, my strategy was never to, jump fully aboard the train. A lot of people were on the Amtrak going 100 miles an hour with him. I just hopped a freight train. And we pulled out of the yard at 35 miles an hour, and I was okay with that. I did have high expectation for him. I never said Heisman or elite or generational, so I stayed away from that crowd because I know that just leads to disaster. As it turns out, having any expectation for him has led to disaster. So, yes, I have hopped off the train, and it hurt, but I survived. I think a lot of other people may not make it hopping off the train going as fast as they were with him. I don't really know how it rectifies itself. I went back the other day and watched every snap he's taken so far this year, and they say he's not hurt, which, okay, I'll take you at your word. You sound really defiant, and your eyes are bulging, so you must be telling the truth. But if that's not the case, and this just is who he is, I'm not really sure that he ever becomes more than, a serviceable quarterback, an above-average quarterback. The thing that I think about with him or Lagway, really, in retrospect, is, all right, what did I miss? Why were my expectations a little out of whack here? Well, with Lagway, I think I saw, a shooting star down the stretch last year, but a guy who had not played a lot of football. And then when he missed all of spring and had multiple injuries, I probably didn't put enough stock in that with him. With Arch, It's just that you never really saw him play, which we all knew. It's not like it was a mystery there. But at every turn, he didn't play high level in high school. He avoided the camp circuit, so Elite 11, for example. I go out there every year. I never saw Arch Manning next to the other best quarterbacks in the country. I just had to trust his recruiting ranking and his last name. And then he comes into Texas, and he doesn't start immediately. And you see little flashes of him here and there. And then finally, he's on display in the spring game. It looks bad, but you tell yourself, oh, it's just a spring game. Star players have looked bad in spring games before. And there are these 5 or 6 different moments where you wish, in retrospect, you look back and say, that may be a little red flag, at least a yellow flag. But I allowed myself to believe. I also put a lot of stock in Steve Sarkisian's ability to get the most out of a quarterback. And so I just set myself up for failure. I don't even blame Arch. I blame myself.
Yeah, I think that's where we all kind of are right now. Josh Pate, college football insider, ESPN, Yahoo Sports, On 3, and, of course, Josh Pate, college football show is here as well. So let's do this. Michigan and Nebraska is this weekend. Also, Illinois, Indiana. These are the 2 biggest games in the Big Ten in my mind. Do either of these games have actual playoff implications? Meaning, do you think we have the ranking next to Illinois? Indiana's got a ranking. We saw how it went for Indiana last year. Do you believe that game really will matter by the time we get to November? Do you think the same for Michigan, Nebraska?
I actually do. I do believe it. I'm trying to think. Hold on. I believe it about both games. So with Nebraska, I was way out on a limb. I went out on the Arch Manning limb with Nebraska. That's how exposed I am on Nebraska. So I thought that if we could just get the whole Matt Rule year 3 should be a trademarked phrase to me, by the way. So many people have said it that someone should have trademarked the thing. But if I believe in that whole Matt Rule year 3 thing, if I believe that there is still a lot of juice left in the squeeze there for Dylan Raiola. I thought their receiver room was a little underrated nationally coming in, and their schedule is very workable. If I believed all that, which I did, I thought if they pull off one of these bigger games, Michigan being one of them, they can afford to drop 2 of them and be a 10-2 wild card sort of team from the Big Ten. I don't think a 10-2 Big Ten is getting left out. So that is my case for Nebraska. I think with the Indiana-Illinois game, both of those teams started with their stock so high, which is not supposed to matter, and I'm told it doesn't matter, but it absolutely does, that whoever wins that by default is very much in the picture, very much has their name in the conversation. And I really think, I'm thinking about the coming weeks too, like Illinois. If they win that game and USC takes care of business, imagine the scene next weekend. In a place that is very prone to big college football scenes, Champaign, Illinois. You got USC at Illinois. I think that's the early game next week, too. And that, by the way, that card, that September 27th card in college football may be the best of the year. And if Illinois wins this Saturday, you just kind of add another one. And then if Indiana wins, I think it's pretty rudimentary. I think it's just, oh, look at that. They're doing it again. SIG's doing it again. So I would say there's at least 3-way sort of playoff action on that. I think Michigan's going to be short of that conversation, but I'm wrong on Michigan all the time, so it doesn't really matter what I say about them. So it may be that all 4 of them are in play.
No, this is the year we all get right on Michigan, because around here we've been wrong about Michigan for the last 4 years. So we're getting right here. You're getting right on it too. That's my bold prediction. I'm on that limb now, that we're all right about Michigan this year, and they're just not that good. Josh, we appreciate the time. We'll do it again soon, okay?
I appreciate it, guys.
There you go. Josh Pate, college football insider, college football show. Find him on literally everything, because he is everywhere right now if you follow college football. Someone who needs to just shut up. What if I told you that guy is Gus Johnson, but not for broadcasting? What he did this week is egregious. You will hear it next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday to you. We are noticing still one crash out on our metro this morning, and it's really happening way up north over by Delaware County. We are still watching this crash. It's that 23 southbound direction right at Hills Miller Road. Expect some lane closures in this area. Of course, this is right before the Delaware County downtown scene, hitting at 6 miles per hour, unfortunately, when it comes to your travel times out there. M10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Make your next shopping trip a good deal better at Meijer. Save on fresh favorites like fresh from Meijer Family Pack chicken thighs, just $1.49 a pound. California green or black seedless grapes, $1.88 a pound. Select varieties of Meijer chips, 3 for $6 when you buy 3 or more. And select varieties of General Mills cereal are $3.49 each. Protect yourself and family this fall with the flu shot. Available today while you shop at your Meijer pharmacy. Bringing home more of what you love for less. That's the good life at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Ford versus Ferrari. It's the ultimate showdown, and it's coming to Valley Ford of Columbus. Experience the thrill of Ford GTs and Ferraris for your up-close viewing at the Ultimate Car Show tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. Everyone's invited to marvel at these iconic machines and enjoy live music and food trucks. Show off your special car, too. All makes and models are welcome. Register at the show or online, valleyfordofcolumbus.com. It's the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Be there.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, you know, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Waking up with mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 50s to low 60s, and then this afternoon we heat up with daytime highs getting into the low 90s with plenty of sun, and skies will be hazy. For tonight, mostly clear overnight with our lows in the 60s, and for Saturday we could see a stray shower or storm in the afternoon, although most of us remain mainly dry with our mix of sun and clouds and highs in the upper 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Never have I been so excited to get a whiff of sweaty jock straps. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Yay, football, the Fan. Sometimes it's better if people just shut up. Shut up! It's time for Morning Breath.
Okay. I think we have to, as a show, acknowledge that sometimes I may get a little excited about something. I may overhype something. I don't think I'm overhyping this. Gus Johnson, the guy who calls college football games, the guy who's had some legendary moments calling Buckeye games, right? We all have heard his ha, right? We've all heard that. Gus is some people's cup of tea when it comes to calling football games. Some people just say, sorry, I don't need all the excitement. I'd rather have, I don't know, boring guy who just is like, I think we should do the news now.
Mike Tirico.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Tirico is like the complete opposite of Gus Johnson when it comes to that. But they're both Michigan men. They both live in Ann Arbor or whatever they do. Anyway, Gus probably lives in L.A. He doesn't live in Ann Arbor. But here's the thing. Gus Johnson loves Michigan. He is doing this thing called the It Player of the Week. Have you seen this, Tyvis?
Yeah.
Have you seen like these videos he does?
Arvell Reese got it the first week.
Yeah. So he's saying this is a guy who I think has a lot of potential or had a good game or I think you should watch him this weekend, whatever. It seems like maybe he's focusing on Big Ten guys, but who knows? Maybe he will expand this at some point. So this weekend, Michigan has a big game against Nebraska. So he said his it guy of the week is Bryce Underwood, their freshman quarterback who got $1 bajillion to go to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He does like a minute-long video where he's talking about this guy and he calls him all these things. He's the East Side Undertaker and all this crap.
Yes.
Then he does a part of this video where he starts to rap. And I'm just going to play for you the portion of the video where he starts to rap. Please listen and enjoy.
America, say hello to the East Side Undertaker. He's Alpha and Omega. East Side. A little later, he will be greater. Dream maker. Heisman taker. First player.
That is Gus Johnson rapping. I want to take a bath in acid. I don't feel good about any of what just happened there. Tyvis, your thoughts?
I'm speechless. I really am. Like, I don't know what made him, because like I get the beginning of it. Like obviously we didn't play the full minute clip. But like the first 30 seconds, I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, you highlight this thing. But when it just goes into this rap, I'm just like, what is
No. I don't understand
how
Gus. Anyone made this happen. I don't understand why someone didn't. Look, number one, I don't know whose idea this was. Was this, like, we work in media. Tyvis, you do production work. You work with Fox in the Big Ten on BTN. You guys have meetings. There are producers. If you, Tyvis, said tomorrow, hey, I have an idea. I want to show up in a fisherman's outfit and I want to go out to a lake and catch fish. Would they just be like, sure, go ahead? Or would they say, well, why? What's the purpose? Explain the reasoning for this. We're going to have to get a camera crew to go out there and do this. There would be a million things you'd have to do before something like that could happen. How does this happen?
He got a John Cena type flow.
No.
Let me tell you.
John Cena is a Grammy-winning rapper. Do not disrespect John Cena like that ever again.
If we're going wrestlers, he's Macho Man. Rap circles around him. And if you've never heard the Macho Man rap album, you know that I'm saying something very egregious there because that was awful.
Basic Thugonomics by John Cena is in my regular playlist, Tyvis.
You are out of line. You are out of line.
Is that one of the Migoses that you're listening to? Is that
wow.
Migos.
The Migoses? Is that how you say that?
Migos. The Migos.
Well, since Gus Johnson and Tyvis want to bring up wrestlers like Gus, East Side Undertaker, I'm going to quote The Rock when it comes to John Cena, and I want Gus Johnson to know his role and shut his mouth.
Yeah, that's okay. That's right.
You know what? I love the fact that he's hyping up the Wolverines. I do.
But he's a national play-by-play guy.
This is great because that means he really enjoys calling their games. And all the games that he called is on what? At what time? noon.
Yeah.
So take them and leave the Buckeyes out of it so we can
Now
get
that's a
some
good
later
call.
games.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Since he the East Side Undertaker, let's just go ahead and just keep putting them at noon so we can play later games, especially November 1st. I think you should definitely take them. I don't know who they play on November 1st. But whoever they play, I hope they hype that game up so much that this Penn State game could get pushed to nighttime.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen. I would be very surprised if that does happen. However, yeah, I can't picture any college football announcer.
They play
ever.
Purdue. It's a big game for them.
Oh, yeah.
Wolverines and Purdue, big game.
Might be.
St. Ann Arbor, too.
This Nebraska game this weekend for them, that's partially, I'm sure, why he's doing this is to, yes, Michigan and Nebraska, even though I believe that's a CBS game. I want to say this is a 3:30 kick for Michigan, Nebraska. I don't think it's not the big noon game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the
'cause obviously
weird
it's the
Utah, Texas Tech.
Right. So what I'm curious about is why are we hyping up Bryce Underwood now? Because if you did this at the start of the year when all the hype was kind of there for him, fine. But he went out against New Mexico and looked good, decent. We all said after that first game, if you watched it, he looked good. Then he played Oklahoma on the road, and Sharon Moore said, I don't want you to do anything other than hand it off and throw like a few passes, maybe. Wouldn't let him run the ball, wouldn't let him do anything, essentially. He's a freshman quarterback. Maybe he's scared of unleashing Bryce Underwood that early in the season, but he looked bad in that Oklahoma game. And then, they play Central Michigan?
Yes.
The Connor Stallions Bowl. And they did that, and he looked good again because he's playing nobodies. So I don't understand where the hype comes from here when there's players in college football who've actually done things. Like, if you want to hype someone up, go hype up the guy that Penn State said, sorry, not good enough. We're going to stick with Drew Aller. Bo Pribula is making Penn State rue the day they let him walk off that campus. That's a guy you could go hype up. I know he doesn't play in the Big Ten, but Missouri looking good. They have a game this week, and like I keep talking about, someone's eventually going to listen to me on this Missouri team. They're good.
There's obviously got to be the reason why this is the third week. Who was the second guy he picked?
I don't know who. Maybe he did it week 2. Maybe he did it after, because I only saw the Arvell Reese one and then this one.
Yeah.
So I think he did the Arvell Reese one clearly after the Texas game where Arvell Reese was like tremendous. So that would make a lot of sense. So
I wonder if
he's reacting to games that have already happened, I guess.
I wonder if he is only doing Big Ten. I mean,
Maybe
it would make sense.
But even in the Big Ten, there's a better game. Illinois, Indiana.
He did have a good game last game. He had like 3 touchdowns. Yeah. I know because I picked him as my quarterback one on the Big Ten.
I saw that.
And I ended up winning.
Michigan jobless idiots up there they all loved it. They were great. They were all your fans when you said that. I saw it on your BTN tailgate.
He had 3
Were
touchdowns.
you pandering to Team Up North fans while you were doing the tailgate show?
The thing is, I'm trying to win a competition.
Yeah, you're trying to win.
I had to put my biases to the side because I knew that he would have a good game.
All right,
and you weren't wrong.
Now this week I don't know who I'm picking.
I was going to say, put your biases to the side and tell me who you like in this game, but apparently you want to be Switzerland.
Oh, you talking about them against Nebraska?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at that game.
I don't know. That game could go either way.
I feel like it all, to me, hinges on, is Dylan Raiola actually any good? Because Matt Rule is doing his podcast, which, like I said earlier, he dresses like a chode on this podcast, so you should go watch it. For that, if nothing else. But on this podcast, Matt Rule was talking to his guy, and he's like, people always bring up, he actually mentioned, people bring up the Pat Mahomes stuff, but if you watch what he's doing, we have him doing a lot of different things, and we've got him deployed in certain ways. I think people are not going to be prepared for what he does in this Michigan game. Great. Matt Rule, I would love to see it, because if he doesn't do that, your team is cooked. Now, they do have a good defense, Nebraska does. I think that's why they win this game, but you need to have a quarterback who can go make plays. Can Dylan Raiola actually make plays in a big game? That is, to me, the ultimate question here, because it's been long enough. He's been on campus. He's had plenty of time to acclimate and get all this. This is not year one for him. He should be able to go out there and win you this football game. So if he can't, then don't have any faith in Nebraska going forward. But
yeah, I mean, both teams have the big-name quarterbacks, but I still think this game's going to be played in a phone booth. Good old slobber knocker.
I'm sure, because that's what everybody likes to do. Is we're the Big Ten. We run the ball between the tackles. Why? Who? Name the successful Big Ten team that's been doing that. I know that, like, Urban's teams did run the ball effectively. Ryan Day's teams run the ball effectively. But you know what else they do? They have an entire offense, not just let's run it up the middle. So whatever. Anyway, the Indiana-Illinois game is going to be the better game anyway. So I don't even know why we're hyping up this Michigan-Nebraska game as much. It's because it's two brand names, I guess. But Illinois-Indiana should be the better football game this weekend. No, it's not going to be a good game this weekend. At least I don't think. That Bengals-Minnesota game.
You don't think?
No. I don't think so.
I'm dying to hear who you got in that game.
I'll tell you who next. 2 minutes away. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, the road's looking pretty congested out there for your Friday morning commute. For folks just past Grove City, if you're taking 71 northbound over by Green Lawn Avenue, we are looking at 30 miles per hour for your travel times out there. Now, for folks over on the west side, we are still noticing delays out there. 70, that eastbound direction, just east of State Route 142, just a little bit slower because of lane restrictions and ongoing construction out there. Do be mindful, it gets a lot slower, but hey, good news, a lot better once you pass that area, continuing towards that 70 and 270 intersection. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Another summer has ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time, maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Tri-State Men's Health and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
One of these men is bald and fat. The other is T-Bone. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
So we got a big day of football for you, obviously, here on The Fan. Lots of guests revolving around football. I know on Bishop and Friends, I believe they have both Tim May and Doug Maurice on. We have coming up, I think on Rothman and Ice, they have a guy who wrote a book about Brady versus Belichick. The author of that book will join them.
Okay.
Then I know we've got high school football tonight. We have Westerville North hosting Delaware. That all starts at 6:30. Then after the high school football game, you'll have overtime with Ryan Baker, Lee Cochran. So you're going to have football all night tonight. Then obviously tomorrow we'll have plenty of coverage for you. We'll have all Fan Sports Saturday, all that stuff. And then we've got Browns game on Sunday. Somebody who's sitting next to me will be.
I wonder who's doing Fan Sports Saturday. Who's hosted it?
You know what? I didn't see the schedule, but I'm sure they're excellent.
Is it Reeser?
It might be. We can ask him. He's just right out there. Go out and see. In either case, this Bengals game tomorrow or on Sunday, it's in Minnesota. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. You know why?
Dang.
I don't believe that in the year 2025, I can't believe that we are talking about Carson Wentz being a functional NFL quarterback.
You know who they got, though, right?
Who?
Jay Jettas.
I do know that. Yes, I'm aware. They got Justin Jefferson. That's great. They got a whole bunch of weapons in the offense. Carson Wentz has to get them the football, and I don't believe he's capable of doing that. So,
dang.
You know how long he's been with that team?
What team?
The Vikings. I feel like
didn't they sign him in the training camp, right?
Yeah, like towards the end of training camp.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Jake Browning's been with the Bengals forever. I feel like when you're looking at 2 backup quarterbacks going head to head, the thing that matters to me is who's more familiar with the offense, whose offense can roll out a more full version of what it is. I do feel like this Bengals offense will be much more prepared to do whatever they need to do to beat this Vikings defense, which the Vikings defense is better than the Bengals defense. That I don't deny. But I think their offense will be better too. The Bengals offense will be up to the challenge.
I believe that this game will turn into a shootout, but I don't think it necessarily get the one thing that you can't really see it this season, but I do respect Brian Flores as a play caller. And he last year had a really good defense with them.
He did. And I think he still does. I think it's still a good defense. I'm not denying that.
I feel like if that's the case, he can cause some confusion to a guy that hasn't been in there a lot.
Yeah, but Jake Browning, I feel like has been in there enough to be able to handle some of that. He got, and by the way, he got some interceptions out last week. So he got some of that first, I'm back. It's my offense now. I got to go do this.
Yeah, what, he threw 3 picks?
Yeah. So he got some of those out of the way. I feel like, I don't know why I have such a good feeling about the Bengals this weekend, but I think I laid it out pretty clearly. I think if it comes down to who's the better quarterback, which a lot of times it does in the NFL, I think you have the better situation there with Cincinnati right now. So for me, that's what I'm taking.
I brought this up yesterday. Tyvis, do you remember Jake Browning's big moment when he started for Joe Burrow 2 seasons ago, in which he went 4-3, by the way?
Mm-hmm. I had him on my fantasy team. I won fantasy that year because of him.
They beat the Vikings, and he ripped off his helmet and said, they shouldn't have cut me. You remember that, him screaming that into the camera?
I don't remember that.
But they're playing the Vikings again, and I think if he felt that strongly about it 2 years ago, I have a feeling he feels that strongly about it still.
See, and I think that's going to be his demise. I think that's going to be his demise right there, is that he going to want it that bad, and it's going to make him do stuff he shouldn't be doing.
The bigger issue I worry about, if I'm a Bengals fan, is the offensive line. I get that is also a huge problem against this defensive front for the Vikings. But if you go look at the other side of the football, Vikings offensive line has not exactly been great this year either.
They got Donovan Jackson.
Okay. Good. That's fine.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just telling you, whichever offensive line can show up in this game, that will help one of these backup quarterbacks, which I saw Carson Wentz, presuming he starts, which he's supposed to on Sunday. This will be his 6th team that he has started a game for in 6 NFL seasons. No one in the history of the NFL has ever done that. And I can't tell if I should be impressed by that or horrified by it. Because, like, in one sense, you've stayed in the league and played for all these teams. They keep giving you chances. You start games.
He was the number 2 pick in the draft. Actually, the draft I came out. I played with him in the Senior Bowl. He was the quarterback on my team. He was on the North.
I mean, I remember him being a very high draft pick, and I remember him having very early. Remember, we were all optimistic about him early on. Then he got hurt.
He was rolling with the Philly, and then he got hurt, and he was never the same.
He was going to be the MVP.
Yeah,
of course he was. Yeah, he was having that. He was that level of player, and then Nick Foles came into that Super Bowl.
They stole his glory.
Fine, but it happened. And then after that, he was just never the same player. They got rid of him, and it's been onward and upward ever since, and he's just not looked the same.
So the 6 teams are the Eagles, Colts, Commanders, Rams, Chiefs, Vikings. If he starts on Sunday, I do not remember his time in Washington at all.
He was
I forgot
Carson
about
Wentz?
Yeah.
He was just a backup.
But
he started a game because they said he started 6 different.
In Washington?
Yeah.
He has started for 6 different teams.
I don't recall.
In 6 years.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I did too.
He started for the Chiefs. I think it was like a throwaway week 18
Yeah, that's
start.
right. I feel like you're right there. By the way, switching gears, talking about the Steelers very quickly. So their broken and injured defense gets to go into play the Patriots, who also have a defense that has not been great, shall we say, right? They have some injuries there too, but they have not looked good defensively this year, have either of these teams. So I like Drake May.
Drake May been looking good.
No,
though.
he looks good. The offenses should be okay in this game because of these 2 defenses. Drake May will probably do well. Aaron Rodgers. I have gone last week, I have to fully admit, I watched the highlights of that game, which are like, 15 minutes. You do see a lot of it. But I went back this week and watched the entire game against Seahawks. I have come to this realization. Either he's hiding something or he cannot throw the ball down the field, because they do not throw the ball down the field at all. He has not looked good in the first 2 weeks. He has highlights that look good, because he still has a few plays a game where you're like, oh, there's Aaron Rodgers, there's the arm talent. And if you just watch the highlights, you get that sense. But I went back and watched that game, and I realized, he did not look good in that Seahawks game. And I am curious if he'll get right in this one, because you talked about it, Patriots defense, they've got injuries, right? I mean, that's part of the problem there. But
I'm shocked that their defense isn't balling better than what it is because, well, I don't know. I think ain't Christian Gonzalez hurt?
He's still hurt.
That's that's a huge part of it right there. You need your number one cover corner. But with Mike Vrabel being the head coach, that's his expertise is the defensive side of the ball. So you would imagine that they'd be sound there. And yeah, they have not been great.
Pittsburgh's favored by 1.5.
I know. I was going to say this will probably be a game that I stay away from, but I think most people think that the Steelers are a lot better than the Patriots, more so than that they probably are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
These two teams are closer in talent than I think the public perceives.
Well, and I think the public perception on the Steelers is they have a good defense, and Aaron Rodgers has looked good. If you just, like I said, if you just watch the highlights or you watch Red Zone, you would say Aaron Rodgers has looked pretty good, and his numbers are not bad. Obviously, against the Jets, he looked great. How's that Jets defense, by the way? Any good? Or
maybe falling by the wayside too.
Yeah, I'm just saying the injuries that the Steelers have, and it'll depend on who plays in this game because they have a lot of guys who are all questionable to play. But they just, for the first couple of weeks, have not looked great. And I don't believe Aaron Rodgers is. I don't think the highlights tell the whole story. When you actually go watch these games, I think he will have a tough time. Even though I said this Patriots defense is banged up, I think you will see Mike Vrabel, that defense, kind of show up more this week. And I wouldn't. I'm with you. I wouldn't bet this game, but if I had to, I'll definitely take the 1.5. But I think the Patriots probably win this outright. But yeah, any other games you want to talk about NFL wise? I mean, we got the big one with, that rematch, Rams at Eagles. Oddly, a 1 p.m. game for that one, which I feel like if they could, they would have flexed out of that. They would have flexed out of that Bengals game and said, nope, we will take the Rams and Eagles, please.
Do you think C.J. Stroud and the Texans go 0-3, or do they get their first win against Jacksonville?
Ah, man, I don't know. That Jacksonville's running the football really well right now.
I know. I'm trying to decide if I want to start their backup running back.
And I feel like the Texans just have not been good at stopping the run this year. So that to me is something that I don't feel too strongly about that aspect of this game. But yeah, it's time for CJ to kind of show up and say, wait a second, I'm this guy. I can still do this. And get it back a little bit.
They called it a sophomore slump. It's still
it's lingering.
We're getting into a junior slump now. That you don't want. But no, going back to the Eagles-Rams game, I just remember from last year, wasn't that the game where Saquon went off and won them that game, the Eagles late?
Yeah.
And wasn't it snowing in that NFC divisional round game?
That was the one that Saquon, it's like the famous, it's snowing, and he's running off the field with the celebration. Jalen Hurts threw for less yards than the three of us combined. He did. Yeah. He threw for 100-something yards, but it was on the back of Saquon's long runs, and it was in the playoff game.
Yeah, right. I just want to point out, Tyvis, in your perfect world, none of that would exist because every football game would be in a dome and we'll be having no weather, no nothing. So you get to see a version of that because there will be no snow this weekend.
You're absolutely right. You saying it like it's a problem.
It is a problem.
It's a solution.
It'd be beautiful if we could have more snow. I not obviously now, but I'm saying that reminded me of just how we need the weather in these games. The weather's great. I hope we get a monsoon. I want it to rain. Where are they even playing? Are they playing in Philly or is it in LA? If it's LA, it won't matter.
It's in Philly at 1, and a lot of people don't like when a West Coast team has to travel and play early, but I think that's going to be the logic of most people. I like the Rams to cover. I really do. I mean,
you've been high on the Rams all year.
And Jalen's going to have to throw the ball for more than 150 yards if Philly's going to win this game.
All right.
He's the only starting quarterback that hasn't thrown a touchdown pass this year.
Really?
Yes.
Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
I didn't realize that. That's an interesting. I didn't know that. That's crazy to me. Well, this will be the week.
And the crazy thing is, he's still a top 5 quarterback because you can't not have him in there because he outplayed Patty in both Super Bowls.
I mean, they're undefeated, so let them live. But
yeah, that's working. Whatever they're doing. Can I ask this final question? This is the last thing for the NFL weekend for us, anyway. JJ McCarthy, the level of realness to that injury. 1 being it is completely fake. 10 being it is completely legitimate. Why is it -7?
Dang.
They banished this man because Kevin O'Connell watched 7 quarters of completely egregious football and said he wasn't ready. My bad. Get me anyone with a pulse. And Carson Wentz was available. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, 100%.
I can't believe you think it's fake.
Oh, I do.
A fugazi injury.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know about all
that. I think he would lie to you. Can't do that. You get in trouble for that.
No, he's not. No. JJ McCarthy's not lying about it. They came to him and said, guess what? Your ankle hurts. And he goes, no, it doesn't. And they're like, yes, it does. It better, because otherwise you're getting cut because of how bad you look. This guy won them one game with one stupid quarter that makes no sense, and then 7 out of 8 quarters looked exactly like we thought he was. People use the excuse he just had a baby. His wife and him had a baby. Congrats to them on that.
Well,
Maybe he was up too late. That was what it was.
Spend some time with her.
That's right. Go hang out with the baby. Please don't hurt our offense. So the fact that the Vikings would rather, that's what I believe. The Vikings would rather have Carson Wentz than J.J. McCarthy. That's my current theory that I will not move off of until he proves otherwise, which I guess he can't for a while until they get done suspending him or whatever they did to him. Come back, some crosstalk with Bo Bishop, and we'll hit the buzzer next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Friday. We are noticing some good news for our folks way out north in Delaware County. We have a crash that's clearing up on that 23 southbound direction at Hills Miller Road. We still expect some lane closures out there. Again, crew members still on scene, but hopefully not for long. Looking a lot better with your drive times, too, out there. 58 miles per hour, again, 23 southbound. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
You're kind of cute. Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in his tidy whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair. Dormar! You're kind of cute.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Football season is here at Columbus, and Germain Toyota of Columbus has the winning plays. Drive home a brand new 2025 Tacoma SR5, just $269 a month for 36 months. 10,000 miles a year. Or power up with the Tundra, now just 1.75 APR for 72 months. Don't wait. These deals, they won't last long. Stop by Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or shop anytime at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Hub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Drive your dream car home today, no matter your credit history. Hey, it's Phil here at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. We proudly accept all credit types, good, bad, or none. Get pre-approved in minutes and hit the road with confidence. Get your new ride today. Call 614-861-7150 or shop our huge selection online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com. Your perfect ride is credit ready and waiting at Capital Ford of Columbus.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat.
They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
One of these men was prom king. It was T-Bone. I swear to God, you think I'm lying, don't you? But I'm serious. He didn't always look like this, okay? Here's the prom king and Tyvis.
Now joining us, he is Bo Bishop, the namesake of Bishop and Friends. Bo, how we doing, buddy?
Prom king, huh?
Yeah, it was a small school. That's all I can say about that.
Fantastic.
Bo,
not a lot of competition.
Bo, do you have your cell phone by you?
Yeah, sure.
I just sent you a message. Go watch that.
Oh gosh.
Go watch that because I got to set this up.
Tyvis,
I got to set this up. I got to set this up. So,
all right, so it's two guys in what it looks to be like a drag race. Is this? I can't tell who they are.
This is me versus Kenyon Barner. So last year at the Big Ten tailgate, Kenyon
crushed him.
Do you see it? Look, you see that?
Not even close. Like you're screwing around. You're not even.
That's what I said. So
it isn't even like you giving all. Like it looks. You knew you beat him right out of the gate, and then you just laughed.
That's weird. See, so Kenyon,
what happened to him?
Well, Kenyon, I'm doing a show with him this tomorrow because we're going to Oregon. He's a former running back from Oregon.
Civil War?
Yeah.
For you.
Yep. So they've been mad. He's been mad about this, and he claims he's been training. So tomorrow we're going to end the show with him and I racing.
Okay.
And I just have to roll him again because I told him national TV wise, I'm not losing on national TV. So
well, you beat him by about 10 yards. So I think he's got a lot of catching up to do. From what I can tell.
That's what I'm trying. When you watch that, they said that I false started. That's what they said, and I said that's wild.
Nope, didn't see it that way at all.
You know what that was? I don't know who's they. Is it the BTN people?
Yeah, this our producer said you false started. I'm like, no, I didn't.
No. They're trying to help the guest's ego. Is all that is because you're there and you're a paid employee and he's a guest. They're trying to make him feel good. That's all that is. That's you didn't do anything wrong there.
You're going to the Civil War, dude.
Yeah. I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a big run.
That's a really cool game.
It's not going to be.
Oregon State's not what I mean, Oregon's dominated the rivalry, but this is I hope we don't ever lose all of this. We've lost a lot of it. That game to that state means what Ohio State, Michigan means to us.
Yeah.
Like that's how much they care about it. And that's really cool that you're going to get a little taste of that.
Well, I feel like the same thing when we saw Missouri and Kansas go back to playing that. It's like realignment can happen. We've lost a lot with all of that. I understand it's never going to be quite the same, but this is what makes college football good. If every game is played in a dome with a corporate sponsor, with everybody wearing uniforms that Nike picked out 2 days ago, and nothing like, at what point do we just not have college football? I'm fine with some of the change, but like the rivalries in home stadiums between teams that hate each other, that should never go away.
No, especially intrastate. I mean, those have to be preserved. The Apple Cups this weekend too. Washington State. I made the case. I thought the Big Ten should have taken the whole Pac-10. I think they should have taken all of it and just have a West Coast version of it. You see what they're doing with Michigan State and USC? 11 o'clock kick. How do you like that if you're Sparty land?
Have no idea. I can't imagine what the calls are like up there to any of their sports radio stations or whatever they're doing, because people would be furious here if you said, yeah, Ohio State's starting at 11 p.m.
We were having the conversation, what is the threshold of the schools in the Big Ten who could say no to that?
I mean,
like Ohio State, Michigan, who else?
I'd like to believe Ohio State could say no to it, but I've seen how it's gone when we said Big Noon's not going to happen, and then they were like, yes, it is. I mean, that. But yeah,
but that's in the contract. Two. Like, I do wonder, like, if they said, hey, you're gonna play or Washington at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night. I feel like at that point Ross Bjork's like, yeah, actually we're not.
Yeah,
we're not
right.
doing that.
I would hope so.
I think I think Ohio State and Michigan are the only two who could, maybe Penn State, but certainly those two who can say, yeah, no, we're not going to play at 11 o'clock.
But what you got coming up on the show? I would imagine that you got a whole hour on Guardians talk.
Is that Guardians? That's the Marvel movie with the guy who is in Parks and Rec?
Yeah, that's right. Galaxy.
Is that what that
Galaxy
is?
of the Guard. Yeah.
Is that what a
Guardians
Guardian
of the Galaxy?
is?
That's right.
They got a hell of a ride down at Disney World. Guardians of the Galaxy ride is awesome at Disney World. I'll
Christmas
tell you that.
came early this year. Is all I know.
Why? Did you finally see the movie?
Reeser will tell you all about it. Give him the floor.
I only give him 45, 60 seconds a segment, so he's got to be quick. He's got to be quick if he's going to start talking about baseball.
There you go. All right.
No, it's a bit, obviously. I mean, I'm thrilled for him. I just don't have I don't know where you guys are. I just don't have the headspace for it this time of year. Tyvus, it seems like you do. But with all of the football I'm watching and all the other things that are going on, I just don't have the brain space for it.
It's hard. It's hard to watch the actual game. Yeah. I'm just catching the highlights and stuff. And when Big Christmas, John Kinsey Noel hits a home run, everybody know that's my guy. So like people will tweet me and stuff and text me about it. So yeah,
there you go. Well, it's a big football Friday.
It is.
I have a ton of that covered. Even though we got OSU on the bye, we've got a ton of other stuff to talk about. So looking forward to hearing all 3 hours of football, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Always is. I really like the two Big Ten games of note. I like the Michigan-Nebraska game, and I like the Illinois-Indiana game. I'm curious to see where those teams are.
Yeah. I think it's going to tell a lot about who's got actual playoff hopes and who doesn't after this week with those two.
I would agree.
All right, there we go. 3 hours, Bishop and Friends coming up next.
Shove it down your throat. It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
All right, not a lot of time here, but I just want to highlight this. Former Buckeye Kelsey Mitchell.
Talk about it.
Dropping 24 points.
Talk about it.
On the Atlanta Dream as the Indiana Fever end their playoff drought. They win their playoff series. They go on to the next round, but I want you to know, Indiana Fever, no Caitlin Clark, no Sophie Cunningham. It's all been Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston.
I'm about to say,
Aaliyah Boston hit the game-winning shot. But the point is, Kelsey Mitchell's been awesome. Go Bucks. And I'm on the Indiana Fever bandwagon as long as Caitlin Clark's not playing. My guys. Love them. They're great. All right, Bishop and Friends is next. Have a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy all the football this weekend. We'll talk about it on Monday. T-Bone and Tyvus on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, some great news for your Friday morning commute. The road's not as congested right now. New Albany for folks out there, that 161 eastbound direction over by Beach Road. Not noticing any red, any delays when it comes to our time saver traffic map out there. And hey, a similar situation if you're heading towards Grove City or really passing that area, heading downtown. 71 northbound at Greenlawn Avenue. Yeah, still a little bit congested this morning, but really not as bad as what we're used to seeing for a typical morning commute. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic. Make it a great